Hi, and welcome to Intuitive Journey with Desiree. I am Desiree Holmes Scherini, your host, and this is a sort of a holiday recap in a way, a little holiday lights on. So, what I want to talk to you about today is really a lot of what I've already said to you in the past, maybe in different segments, different episodes, but it's a bit of a reminder and a synopsis about expectations. And with holidays, we've just had Thanksgiving here in the US, and upcoming is Christmas, it's Hanukkah started, and many other religions are having special holidays in this season. In particular, being of the Western society, I'll probably refer to Christmas and the idea of maybe our expectations around gift giving, about what it's supposed to mean, the perfect Christmas and the perfect holidays. And as I said, I'm sure I've touched on this in previous episodes, but I'm going to say it again because it's worth repeating. There are some, I would say, sort of philosophies that suggest that expectations set you up for disappointment. That's the truth. But we also need to balance that with appropriate expectations in, say, relationships and friendships, and use that as information if our expectations are met or not met, to what degree we expected something and maybe there was a misalignment. So the reciprocal person didn't have the same understanding of our expectations and us of theirs. That's where misunderstood expectations, unfulfilled expectations often deliver huge disappointments. And the reason I'm bringing this up now is because that often is much more noticeable, comes to the forefront with holidays, birthdays, special events, that we have a certain belief that such and such is supposed to happen at a certain event and vice versa. So, Christmas, say it's Christmas and you think, okay, if somebody cares, I'm going to get this gift because I've been hinting for months, and that doesn't show up. You get something that has nothing to do with your desires. However, from their point of view, which you never quite understood, they believe they're giving you the best gift and that what you wanted wasn't really the best for you. Okay. And so this is kind of this like weird dance of belief systems that starts to happen around expectations, holidays, gift giving, and really interpersonal performance. It's a dance, it's a performance, it's something that the better you're in step with those that you are close to, the better the dance will be. The clearer you are, the more you have a conversation, not like I want this and therefore I expect it, but to share what's important to you. And this goes back, please go on back to my episode on love languages. Okay, that will be a perfect primer for going into the holidays. It's back there, a few episodes, love languages. What is your love language? And that will really help you just get a step forward on understanding and even appreciating your friends or partner's love language. And when you think that you haven't been heard or appreciated, if you understand their love language, then you realize often, oh, this is how they show their love, and maybe how they want you to show yours. It's a very interesting dynamic. But the point of this particular conversation was to forewarn you to not become a victim of unfulfilled expectations. So let's say you've made it clear you are in a particular dynamic or relationship where certainly your friend or partner or parents or child, whoever it may be, that you believe that they know what you'd like, and you've tried to share that, yet it still doesn't happen. And I'm talking about this because it's Christmas time. This is when a lot of people are very sensitive, and we have these old stories in our head of how it should be, and it still doesn't happen. There's obviously going to be the disappointment, the sadness, that sense of being let down. But what you have power over is how you choose to either sort of deflect that from your inner core or stick it, literally stick it in your gut and become a victim of unfulfilled expectations. So stuff happens. People get it wrong. We don't always get what we want. And again, I've touched on this so many times in past episodes, but we have the power to choose our response to events, people, others' behavior. We have our choice to say, I'm going to cry, I'm going to be sad, I'm going to be a victim. Okay, you can do that. And that's perfectly normal. But whether you stay there with an unfulfilled expectation, whether you stay there and say, I knew this would never work. Oh, he never or she never, blah, blah, blah. And create an expectation of forever ongoing unfulfilled expectations, then you snowball it. Nice winter term, right? Then you can snowball that expectation of unfulfilled expectations, and you create a mentality of looking for it, of almost wanting to prove yourself right by finding what's wrong, by finding where someone didn't come through or things didn't work out. I hope you're following me here. I hope this is making some sense to you. You know, there came this phrase recently that says, "Oh, you're responsible for, um, your things that happen to you." Basically, that kind of cut out the middle explanation of what are you talking about. I don't like how that sounds personally. Oh, it's my fault if I have a car wreck, right? Knock on wood. It's I'm not superstitious, but it's my fault. How is it my fault if somebody ran into me, right? So it's that saying is sort of kind of a metaphysical uh, thing about attracting energy, about putting yourself in that space and having this energetic attraction to a low vibration. That's what that means. Okay. But how it sounds is like you've done something wrong and you deserve bad things or unfulfilled expectations is difficult to swallow. Like, no, that's not okay. So the reason I bring that up is because basically what I was saying is that you can set yourself up to create that reality for yourself because you're looking for it, right? You're looking for that thing to happen that you don't want to happen, but you're so afraid it's going to happen that you're expecting it to happen, and therefore you'll find it. just like you can find good things if you want to. You understand? So back to expectations and other people's behavior. We have choices. We can't control other people's behavior. We can control our response. And we can choose to, even if we're disappointed, had a different expectation than what was delivered, we can choose to not take it personally, believe it or not. And if we don't like something that happened, some non-gift or gift, or I'm kind of smiling for personal reasons about a gift I was once giving that was quite an insult on purpose. I think it was on purpose, pretty sure. Um, but I won't go into that. However, it was, my experience of expectation. Actually, now that I think about it, I was actually not expecting much from that person as far as a sincere um, kindness. And they delivered on that not very sincere kindness. And so looking back, it's really pretty funny. And I have laughed about it since then with other family members about, hey, remember that Christmas when it's like, okay. Yeah. And even gift giving can be so challenging when you give a gift and it's not accepted with what you thought someone might appreciate, regardless of maybe messages or things that were said that led you to believe that that's the perfect gift, and it turns out no. So this whole gift thing at Christmas time, holidays, Hanukkah, whatever it is, birthdays, is so heavy with potential, both good and bad. Potential to uplift and say, yo, that's fantastic, or to go, ooh, total deflation, and even further to even anger. And so I'm circling back to, don't let your expectations and the fact that possibly what you had hoped for doesn't happen to fuel an inner state of victimhood. Disappointment's normal. You let that flow through, you release it, you think about it, you make rational thoughts and decisions around, what that means. Um, there's so many pieces to that, but you don't become a victim of unfulfilled expectations. It's easy to allow yourself to, and this is where this talk comes in. You choose your reality. Don't create, as they say, oh, you created this. Use your opportunity to not create a victimhood of unfulfilled expectations, positive expectations, to lead you into lifelong disappointments and always expecting unfulfilled positive expectations. How do you do that? That might just be another episode. But to leave off here with a thought to remind you, other people's behaviors likely have very little to do with you individually. They have more to do with them. And if you were, if someone else was in your shoes, in that space, that same whatever behavior, fulfilling your expectations or not, would likely be the same regardless of if it was you standing in those shoes or not. So I know it's probably difficult to think about, but I want you to think about it. Put that little like kind of protective shield around you, and don't allow some sort of a permanent disappointment to take hold when your expectations are unfulfilled. Set it free. Set it free and choose a different and better feeling. Talked about that on What If. And I was thinking to myself, my last episode, which a little while ago, I haven't done much, was what if? What if? And people tend to think, what if this? What if that? Like worst case scenario. And my point was, well, what if everything turned out perfectly? What if you absolutely got every dream, wish fulfilled? What if it all works out just right? Doesn't that feel better? Well, this is the flip. What if you don't get what you hope? What if you don't have the Christmas experience that you see on the commercials? What if, yeah, what if there's a disagreement in the family or not everybody is on the same page? Oh, right? Is that possible? What if? What if things don't go perfectly? Well, guess what? That's where you have the personal power to choose to just kind of make that space between you and anything that doesn't feel good and allow it to disperse. Don't get in and get upset or become the victim of circumstances. Just take a deep breath. Go back to the couple other episodes about putting yourself in someone else's shoes and or putting yourself in your own shoes. Go back to the what if episode. Just listen to my whole podcast. Click like. That'll help. I hope that'll help. So I am wishing you a what if amazing, amazing holiday season. Not because things are going to go perfectly and you're going to get everything on your wish list, but because you are going to express within yourself the ultimate power to have a beautiful, beautiful holiday, regardless of anything that's going on around you, releasing any victimhood or negativity and absorbing all goodness and joy that comes your way. So, what if you have a happy holiday no matter what? Bye.